When it comes to my biggest influence, there are two people that come to mind. And this comes down to the value of how we think about formal mentorship and influence and informal mentorship and influence. They're very different, and they both have such intrinsic value. So I want to give two examples, if that's okay. The biggest ones for me, one is my high school teacher who intervened and just said, "You're never going to be a great athlete. You're never going to be great in the choir. Like, have you not thought about speaking, debating? You're smart. Do that. Have you thought about that?" I didn't even know those were options to me until she pulled me aside and said, "Let me help you get on this trajectory." And she actually sponsored me in such a level of coaching and development that I was appointed to be on the board of directors for a 501c3 that had all senators, representatives, the most high-ranking clinical officials. There were only 12 people on the board, and I was one of them at the age of 16, based on her mentorship and her encouragement that use your voice and use it for something good and figure out how to communicate in a way that's effective and that engages people. So I look at that as a very kind of informal opportunity where I found a passion. She helped guide me, but then I was like, okay, I understand what to do, and I love it, and I'm excited about it. And that's informal mentorship, and that happens every day. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know. And I love Malcolm Gladwell's Talking to Strangers. I encourage everyone to read that book. I encourage everyone to be curious about, who is this person next to me? Who is this person that has an interesting shirt on? And that was the whole reason I met the group from India, was I had our NGO is called Voluntary Rural Empowerment, and I had my big t-shirt on with the logo on the back, and I was like, hey, can we talk to you? Had I not had that shirt on, and had they not had the courage to talk to a stranger, very different than them, we would have never created the relationships that we have. So I look at that as such an amazing form of internal mentor, or of informal mentorship and relationship building. When I think about formal mentorship, that's a whole nother channel that has also helped me grow. And it's helped me grow as an executive as well as a person. When I was 29, I had a very strong goal. I wanted to be the vice president of my company, which is large, and I was doing the job of multiple vice presidents. I'd replaced them, and it was a big goal for me. By the time I turned 30, I want to be a vice president. And there was a bit of this conflict because of my age, and probably also, because I'm a woman. But that is what it is. But I accept those things, and I understand they're realities that we all have to deal with. However, I did have an advocate on my side, and despite the challenges we went through to get to that point, she aligned me with an executive coach, which is a formal form of mentorship, and she dramatically changed the trajectory of my career, my happiness, my joy. I would not be in Africa living what I consider my best life. I would not be smiling so freely if it were not for her. And at the time, it almost felt like punishment, because they were like, we're going to give you this coach, and it's going to be very structured, and we're going to be monitoring. There are going to be these outcomes. And so when people give you that sort of feedback that you need a coach or you need someone to guide you on your journey, hug that. Embrace that. That is truly one of the greatest gifts I've ever been given in my career. And I still call her to this day. That was many years ago. Clearly no longer 29. But by the time I was 30, I was a vice president. And that was my goal. And she helped me achieve it. And so I see the value of both formal and informal mentorship And it all depends on how you look at your goal structure and who you surround yourself with. And I've been so blessed and benefited from both of those avenues. And it's always been a focus of mine as well to give that back, because it's something that everyone needs. And if you have the chance, you don't know how many people benefit from just a little bit of guidance and listening.